So it's all to play for still.
I think so. Do you want to bet against us?
Hi, villains, and welcome to Further Love of Paul McGrath podcast. And just wanted to pop on for a very, very quick podcast to mark the 1 year anniversary of Unai Emery becoming Aston Villa Football Club manager. Has been a massive catalyst for a turnaround for the club as a whole. Some players' whole careers have been turned around by Unai Emery since he's come into Aston Villa, and you know. It's a lot has been said about Unai Emery since he's come in, and a lot has been said about him today as well. Or when this will go out, it will be the 24th of October, and when this one goes out. But a lot has been said about Unai Emery, and when he was first appointed, there was a lot of trepidation by a lot of media figures. Trepidation from his time at Arsenal. I think it's probably fair to say that has been well and truly quelled right now. There was a lot of jubilation from Aston Villa fans, and I think that has been proven correct because, as I say, Unai Emery has been absolutely fantastic for Aston Villa Football Club since he has joined the football club. His attention to detail, the mannerisms that he's brought into the way that the team plays, the professionalism, even going down to, and yes, you guys may have seen it in the intro, I had to put a picture in there of him wearing his blazer because Paddy loves that blazer so much. But even little pieces like that, the professionalism he's brought, and that's not to say the previous managers weren't professional, but it's the right type of professionalism. It's a professionalism born out of hard work, born out of study, born out of information. It's not born out of ego. It's not born out of, well, this worked for another manager that managed me, or this worked for me at another team, and I'm going to be very stubborn in how I go about my tactics, go about setting up my team, go about picking the players that I pick. Unai Emery has been very malleable towards how he's looked at Aston Villa Football Club, how he's looked at the players that we have, how he's looked at the setups that we have, how he's looked at the players that we were going to bring into this team. And it is a results business, this game is. And Unai Emery has absolutely delivered for Aston Villa Football Club. He's he's got a 58% win record in the league for Aston Villa at the moment, and like that is fantastic. That for me is top notch stuff. It's and I know that kind of sounds a bit patronizing as well to say that's fantastic and top notch such, but it is, because Aston Villa are absolutely rampant at the moment in how they approach games, in the feeling that players have, in the feeling that fans have, and the togetherness that the team has as well. May the worm change at some stage? It will, but that's not what this podcast is about. This podcast is about absolutely putting our arms around, and that's the phrase I use quite a lot. We can put our arms around Unai Emery, safe in the knowledge that he's the best manager, the most tactically capable manager that we've had at Aston Villa Football Club for many's a year, and many's a decade, I would even go so far as to say. So Unai Emery, you have done wonders for this football club. You've done wonders for the way that we play. You've done wonders for the stature of this football club. You still have people scratching their head wanting us to fail. That to me is a bit of a positive. And I think that onwards and upwards underneath your leadership, and this year is going to be a special year. But I think looking back, the year to come is going to be a special year. And looking back over the year that we've just had, I mentioned it's a results business. And I think it's going to be, I think what's probably best, and the best way to show some of the absolute massive strides that we've taken is essentially to go down through every single result that Unai Emery has had as Aston Villa Football Club manager, how we've learned from games, how we've moved, and the streaks that we've been on. Because it's only when you see it, and when you listen to it, and when you see the body of work all in one goal, that you take a step back and you go, holy moly, that's phenomenal run. Starting off on the 6th of November 2022, Aston Villa play Manchester United. Aston Villa 3, Manchester United 1. 13th of November 2022, Brighton and Hove Albion 1, Aston Villa 2. December the 26th, 2022, Aston Villa 1, Liverpool 3. 1st of January 2023, Tottenham Hotspur 0, Aston Villa 2. 4th of January 2023, Aston Villa 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, our customary draw, and not win against Wolverhampton Wanderers. But as you can see, some big scalps taken already in Manchester United, Brighton and Spurs. 13th of January, Aston Villa 2, Leeds United 1. 21st of January, Southampton 0, Aston Villa 1. 4th of February, and this is where we go on a little bit of a blip. The 4th of February 2023, Aston Villa 2, Leicester City 4. 12th of February 2023, Manchester City 3, Aston Villa 1. 18th of February 2023, Aston Villa 2, Arsenal 4. 25th of February 2023, Everton 0, Aston Villa 2. March the 4th, 2023, Aston Villa 1, Crystal Palace 0. 12th of March 2023, Aston Villa 1, West Ham 1, Aston Villa 1. 18th of March 2023, Aston Villa 3, Bournemouth 0. Chelsea 0, Aston Villa 2 on the 1st of April 2023. 4th of April 2023, Leicester 1, Aston Villa 2. 8th of April 2023, Aston Villa 2, Nottingham Forest 0. 15th of April 2023, Aston Villa 3, Newcastle United 0. 22nd of April 2023, Aston Villa 1, Brentford 1, Aston Villa 1. 25th of April 2023, Aston Villa 1, Fulham 0. 30th of April 2023, Manchester United 1, Aston Villa 0. 6th of May 2023, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Aston Villa 0. 13th of May 2023, Aston Villa 2, Tottenham Hotspur 1. 20th of May 2023, Liverpool 1, Aston Villa 1. And the 28th of May 2023, Aston Villa 2, Brighton and Hove Albion 1, and Aston Villa get into Europe on the last day of the season. Some fantastic results in there. Some really huge results in there. Keeping teams to 0, keeping Newcastle United to 0 and scoring 3 goals, blitzing them that day. Going to Spurs, albeit an abject Spurs team, winning 2-1 last season. Fantastic stuff. Really great. And great tactical play from Unai in that game as well. Going last day of the season to Brighton, albeit that Brighton had secured their 6th place. Villa needed to win, and we did it in a professional, measured, and in such a way that the team looked coherent. Fantastic. Things that you don't say about Aston Villa, or you haven't said about Aston Villa in the last 10 years. Coherent, and professional, and convincing, I think, are 3 words that I would use to explain how Unai Emery has got this team set up last season. So to finish off the season last season, he came in, as I said, against Manchester United. We only lost 6 games in his time in the league. In his time, we drew 1, 2, 3, 4 games in that period of time, and we won the rest. And we went on that mammoth run to get into Europe. Starting off this season, everybody knows how this season started off. A 5-1 loss to Newcastle United on the 12th of August. 20th of August, make amends with a 4-0 win at home to Everton. In the Premier League, once again, I'm just going to really kind of concentrate on Premier League results. A 3-1 win away at Burnley on the 27th of August. On the 3rd of September, obviously, that 3-0 loss away at Liverpool. So 2 heavy losses, one at Liverpool, one at Newcastle. Understandable, 2 big teams that I think are going to be looking for massive honours this season, like ourselves. Then Aston Villa make amends again then with a 3-1 win against Crystal Palace at home. Moving on then to beating Chelsea 1-0 away after Chelsea got that red card by Malagusto. Bring back then to a massive result against Brighton, 6-1 at home against Brighton on the 30th of September. And then a 1-1 draw with Wolves in Molineux. And then, as we know, last weekend, 4-1 versus West Ham. And the reason I wanted to call out all the results is it's a results business. It's a results business. And we've had some bloody excellent ones. You know, we've had some really, really great results. And we can talk about statistics. We can talk about, oh, we've taken however many points from however many games, and we're second in the table, joint with Arsenal since Unai Emery took over, and blah, 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 blah. All that. That's all well and good. That is brilliant. Don't get me wrong, that is brilliant. But some of the results that we've had have been nothing short of spectacular. And they've been nothing short of spectacular against the teams that we've had them against. And for me, that's what underlines what Unai Emery has brought to Aston Villa Football Club. We know he's brought a tactical impetus. We know he's brought a better drilled team. But the one thing that he's brought that has been above all else, the plus point for Aston Villa Football Club is he's brought belief. And the reason he's brought belief is not because he's a snake oil salesman, not because he's able to shake his pom-poms and go, rah, 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 everything is going to be fantastic. It's because he provides results on the field. And it started day one when he came into the club with a 3-1 win at Manchester United. And it's continued into this season with 6-1 win and a 4-1 win. And Aston Villa, we all absolutely hope, are on the cusp of a wave for the rest of this season. So I'm not going to spend too much more time. As I say, there's a lot being said about Unai Emery. I don't want to go over all ground a lot of other podcasts have done as well. I could sit there for 2 hours rattling off statistics, but the main statistics that matter are those ones that I read out there. And I know it probably sounded like that guy from Final Score on BBC doing the telecaster, the teleprompter, or whatever it is, naming out the scores. But I take great pride, and I take great. There should be great pride, and there should be great. There should be a kind of a collective hope, I think is the word I want, that of what is to come, and excitement, I suppose, of what is to come, because a lot of times, history will dictate the future. I'm not a massive believer in that, but it does happen that history dictates the future, and if anything is to go by on what Unai Emery has done with Aston Villa Football Club, our history since he's come in has been nothing short of exemplary, and our future is nothing short of unbridled excitement under this manager. So thank you very much, Unai Emery, for the last year that you've had. Thank you for those fantastic results. Here's to plenty more of them. And until next time, all that's left to say is up the Villa.